Canada needs its own version of ICE now. Did you know Canada has nearly 5 million people with expired or expiring visas? With a population of about 42 million, that's over 10% of our population. These are people that are living in houses that Canadians could be living in. They're taking up hospital beds that Canadians could be using. We need to start doing what the US is doing and send them home. We could even do it the virtue signaling Canadian way and call it NICE, or Northern Immigration and Customs Enforcement. And we could train each of our agents to tell each person they send home to have a nice day.
So you think this is India? Nope, this is Canada, Brampton, Ontario.
Okay? Oh, I couldn't give a shit, mate.
Fucking delivery you!
Sorry about that.
You said me 17, again you said me 19. Why you tell me lie? You first of all know 20.
Straight ahead, come on, boss, man.
Why you gonna take it because idiot?
Man, I seriously have some big complaints about ICE. You see what they're doing in the States? They're going up and they're rounding up all the illegal immigrants that snuck into the country. This is ridiculous. My biggest complaint is that they're not coming and doing the same in Canada.
So you think this is India? Nope, this is Canada, Brampton, Ontario.
They'll never be able to provide enough houses when you're bringing in over 3 million people. If you look at the basic math, if the housing starts are $250,000 a year and you're bringing in 3 million people, there's no way to ever make up for it. And throw on asylum claims here, we've got 160,000 per year last year. And all of this doesn't even account for immigration. New Canadian citizens per year. 150,000 homes per year are being built, and there's way too many people in all of these categories. We'll never have a place where there's enough homes being built unless we shut the door and have no more immigration for 10 years. Probably has to be more than 10 years, unless they're able to build houses in a factory and have the factory pump out thousands of them every single day. We'll never catch up to this level of people coming into our country.
It's the fact that it's stolen land.
Yeah, that's the fact. We don't want to.
Well, then shouldn't all of us be leaving Canada? Me, you, everybody, and if we're not Indigenous?
Pardon?
I'm saying if it is stolen land,
It's the fact we don't want
shouldn't
to
you
speak
be leaving?
anything.
Shouldn't I be leaving?
You must be immigrant, or your ancestors must be immigrants, right?
Yes.
So that is what, if we are immigrants, we got the opportunity, your ancestors or you got the opportunity. You came here the same way we came here. But we are still the best type of immigrants came here. We bring in the money. We got the education here in their colleges. We worked here. We learned those skills they told us. So this is the thing we are working on.
Alright guys, welcome back to UK's Commentaries. I'm your host Rafiki and I hope you are doing super fine and great whenever you are watching this episode from. Now, Canadians have had enough. Yes, they've had enough of these immigrants. They are saying Canada is becoming overcrowded. Actually, some of them are saying Canada is full. Please, the government is not doing anything about it. The government is allowing many and more immigrants every year, and it's becoming overwhelming for the Canadian people. The Canada government is allowing immigrants without vetting. The number of immigrants in Canada is even more. Every month, every year, people are getting into Canada as from the third world countries. And the Canadians are not happy about it. So Canadians are saying, despite the fact that ICE is doing a job in America, I think we need our own ICE in Canada. Yes, Canadians are demanding for their own ICE agents and these ICE raids. They need to reduce the number of illegal immigrants in Canada. They need to reduce the number of fake asylum seekers in Canada. They need to reduce the number of fake international students who are using study visa to come to Canada and then ends up working at Tim Hortons and other branches. They need to reduce the number of immigrants and refugees in Canada because right now, Canada, it is very rare to spot a Canadian, as per they say. They are saying Canada is full and Canada needs reform. Canada needs change and they need their own eyes. And in this video, let's watch what are the reasons why these Canadians are demanding so. This is going to be a very interesting discussion, guys. So I really want you to watch this video to the end so that you can tell me what are your thoughts on this topic and what, if you agree with what your fellow Canadians are saying, then at the end, we shall be sharing our own opinions. And let's keep watching together, guys. And remember to subscribe, by the way. It's free.
You know, immigration is like seasoning your food. Little pinch of this, little pinch of that makes it better. But when you dump the entire salt shaker on everybody's plate, then everybody starts to really hate that seasoning. It's too much. You know what liberal logic is? It's fine, just eat it. Do you know how many homeless people would love to eat that food? It's gaslighting. That's all they do, gaslight you. A little bit of immigration, fine, it enriches society. Soaking it in that seasoning takes away from the original flavor of that dish, if you will. Anyways, I know common sense is not so common with the left, but really, think about it. And we all know what too much salt does to you. Oh, the salt starts waving flags in the street and burning flags and saying, fuck that spaghetti dish, more salt, and fuck you if you don't like it. I'm sure you get the drift.
I want to talk about the immigration crisis going on in Canada. Now, you can look at this a couple different ways. The way I tend to look at it is I don't blame the people coming here. Are they responsible for a lot of the shit that's going on in this country? 100%. Are they taking a lot of jobs from young Canadians? Are they lowering the quality of life here because their living standard, their quality of life, and the countries they're coming from are down here. Ours are up here. So even if they go from here to here, we're still all the way up here. I don't blame them because they're used to living like crap, okay? And it may sound rude, but it's the truth. They're used to living in terrible circumstances. So when they come to a place like this is already paradise for them. All right? Our bad in a first world country is their good. All right? And their good is our bad. So it doesn't mesh. The difference now is the people coming here, they're not like the people that came here 40, 50, 60 years ago. The people that came from Europe, mostly, their quality of life, their standards were through the roof. They were up here. So when they came here, of course there was friction, like anybody that goes to a new country. The people that live here, they're going to be a little bit upset in the beginning. But it was like this. Everybody meshed very fast. And it's because the people coming from those countries, they were not coming from third world countries. They were coming from countries that already had a high level of standards. The only difference is that there was World War II that took place. So it was very easy for them to mesh with Canadian life and standards. Now you have the people coming from these other countries and there's so much friction because they don't raise their standards to the level that we are at here. And it's just such a terrible situation to be in as a country because we've already let millions of people in. And I'm afraid it's going to stay like this forever, where the quality of life in Canada that was once here, because theirs is down here, it's going to be somewhere here. So it's always going to be a lot lower than it was beforehand. And you might think that that's rude. I just think that's a fact. And like I said, I don't blame people from those countries coming here because if I were them, I would do the same thing. Why wouldn't you want to come to a place like Canada or the US when you're living in a terrible country with horrible circumstances? The problem is when you come here, you should raise the bar, but they don't do that. That's the main issue. They don't do that. They don't adopt our way of life, our culture, nothing. They come here and they set up their little, it's almost like their little ghettos where they don't have to adapt and change. And that is why you're seeing such backlash and everybody's pissed off in this country.
There is an unmitigated crisis that is underway in Canada right now. In the first 4 months of this year alone, 817,000 immigrants entered the country, including roughly 500,000 with work permits and nearly 200,000 student visas. This number is extraordinary. If this rate continues, that will mean that we'll take in 2.4 million people this year. By far, we have one of the craziest, out of control immigration rates in any country in the developed world. And there is no single issue that affects the quality of life of every Canadian more than the immigration rate, because there's not enough schools, there's not enough teachers, there's not enough hospitals, there's not enough doctors, there's not enough places to live, there's not enough jobs. Every budget from every public organization, municipality, province and territory, and the federal government in this country is stretched beyond its breaking point. The reason that this is happening is to artificially keep our desperately flailing GDP numbers above the recession line. But when you look at our GDP per capita, the growth of our country's GDP per capita over the last 10 years, it is among the almost dead last, I believe, in the OECD. It is incredible what's happening right now. This is a crisis. This is a full red alert. This is a disaster. There is no single issue that affects the quality of life of every single Canadian more than the immigration rate, because that's more people competing for every single service, every single place to live, every single job. And the economy and the services are not growing nearly fast enough to accommodate 2.4 million new people a year. Not anywhere close. This is something that people need to pay attention to. This is something that we need to talk about very loudly. Mr. Carney committed to balancing our immigration system. This is not balanced. This is totally out of control, reckless, and damaging.
Photo now. Delete my photo now.
I have your photo on the camera too. I have your photo on the video. What is your problem?
Then why did you take the...
Because you refused to pay.
I didn't refuse. I told you that the picture...
We're going around in circles here. You're not getting anywhere. I don't know what else to tell you.
You don't know how to behave to the customer. That's the problem. I was very polite and I asked you that.
You're right. I was very rude from the
beginning.
beginning.
You are rude.
I took my time. I took multiple
pictures. You are showing your racism. You are showing the racism.
You're a racist.
Yeah, that's the...
Okay, you're obviously a racist.
Yeah, you are showing that.
The fact that you would go there.
You took the picture and I asked you to delete. I will delete.
Get out of the store. You're calling me a racist now? Go away.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry about it. Sorry about the way.
No, everybody is here. He has the right to take my picture or not.
He has a right, yes.
Huh?
You're exposed and informed. Don't worry, you're on the internet. You're all over Facebook now, so.
For what?
For what? Because your behavior?
I'm sorry, you mailing?
You don't understand what happened. Even
So I just saw this post that said that for 2025 they've opened up the intake for people to sponsor their grandparents and parents from other countries. Now explain to me. We don't need anyone currently moving to this country. Nobody. We have taken on way more than our country can already fucking handle. And yet, our country thinks it's a good plan to then take on more elderly population. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my whole life. Our healthcare systems are already stretched to the absolute fucking max. We cannot take care of the people that we already currently have in this country, including our own aging population, who, by the way, actually worked here, paid into these systems, and helped provide for the country to even have such social programs to take care of anyone. And now we're supposed to take on foreigners, parents and grandparents. For fucking what? I'm sorry, but no. No, the country is full. We cannot take on anyone else who is going to come over here and not contribute to society in any way, shape, or form except become a leech on our systems. Who is working in the Canadian government that thinks this is a good fucking plan? Nobody over there is working with a functioning brain cell as far as I'm concerned. Is anyone else as annoyed at this shit as I am? Because, this is peak ridiculousness as far as I'm concerned. Fucking liberals.
5 million people. That's the number of people that Canada have let into their country without being vetted. 5 million people. And people wonder why the crime rates are up. No, I'm not going to blame it on all 5 million people because I'm sure the majority of them are okay. But we still don't know who these 5 million people are. And when the security minister is questioned about it, she says there are systems in place. Oh, really? That's why a rapist who is on a list, a watch list in the UK was let into Canada? Systems are fantastic then, aren't they? Watch the entire interview next where she is questioned about how this could have happened and the stupidest explanation that she has come back with.
While a rapist of a young girl is on the UK sex offender registry. So I ask you again, if they're screening, as you're suggesting, how did he get a visitor visa?
So again, Canadians are concerned when reports suggest someone who's committed serious crimes abroad has entered Canada, and that is exactly why Canada must continue to maintain and strengthen the screening and enforcement systems.
That's a talking point. I'm talking about an actual case of a rapist who came into this country, who from a G7 country, who was on the child abuse registry of the United Kingdom. Okay. Clearly, giving me a talking point as an answer doesn't answer the question of how that person got into this country.
So IRCC can't disclose individual cases, but on this one it is public, and I will tell you what the court decision, because it's gone to court, so the decision is public, indicates the individual moved to Spain in 2020, then came to Canada on a visitor visa in 2023, did not disclose his criminal history on the visa application, and he has now been found inadmissible and is being deported.
That response, in general, was in a National Post story on October 6, 2025, a day that you were the Minister of Immigration in this country. Okay, so basically, does it all it take for someone's background check? Is it okay with you if someone just doesn't tick off the box that says I have a criminal record as a proper screening for coming into the country?
So
a proper screening would have surely found this individual.
So Canada has a robust screening process.
I doubt it. This is not explaining it at all. Really? You have a robust screening system when someone that's on the child registry got into this country? It begs the question, how many more of these vile people are walking around our streets, in our communities, around our schools, around our community centers?
So, as you've seen, the reason why these Canadians are saying we need our own ICE in Canada to clean up the mess that the government has caused, to at least reduce the number of immigrants, to give Canada a strict and harsh border policy. Some of the reasons are some fake asylum seekers and refugee. You see, people are coming from their own countries. Immigrants are coming from their own countries, and they are coming in huge numbers. The Canadian government does not do proper vetting. They don't do proper background checks. So they are even inviting criminals to live in Canada. And these criminals end up causing crime, engaging in criminal activities, drug dealing, and all those sorts of criminal activities in Canada. Like the one we've just had, the Canadian government just allowed a rapist from a neighboring country into Canada because they did not do a proper background check. These are just some of the things the Canadians are saying ICE would have dealt with them properly. You see, too many international students who are a no-show. They don't attend classes. They don't even know their schools. They just use the study visa to get inside Canada. And when they are in Canada, they end up not showing in classes. They are a no-show. They go and work. Full-time job actually, and they are supposed to be in class reading. So they are saying ICE could have dealt with them. You see, too many Indians in Canada right now. If you land at any airport in Canada, you will think that you are in Bangladesh airport or somewhere in India. Canada is slowly becoming India 2.0, and this is literally pissing off the Canadians because they are saying our culture is literally fading slow, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. If we allow these Indians, immigrants, and all these international students to come into our country, they are trying to dominate us. Yeah? And you see, if we have these too many Indians, too many immigrants, and too many asylum seekers, it means that in Canada right now, these Indians will start, or these immigrants will start looking for a way to survive in Canada. And the only way they can do is by start seeking these jobs. What are they doing in Canada right now? They will replace the Canadians who are already working because they are providing cheap labor. If I'm paying someone $20 per hour, and then when an Indian immigrant or an international student or an immigrant come and tell me, I want to take that job at $10 per hour, what will you do? We will offer the one who is offering cheap labor. So these people are taking the jobs of the Canadians. They are replacing the Canadians. It means that even if these immigrants are allowed into the government, it means that the resources that were supposed to be focused to the Canadians, they are spreading these resources to these immigrants too, these international students, these Indians. It means that we need to share healthcare with them. It means that we have to share our houses with them. So it leads to something like the housing crisis that we are now witnessing in Canada, the poor healthcare, because we are too many congested in one facility. So Canadians are saying it's high time we put Canada first. Canadians first. That is why they are saying they need ICE. They need their own ICE in Canada to clean up the mess that the government has caused. You do tell me what to think about this discussion, guys, because it's a very, very endless discussion, especially this discussion of Canada allowing in immigrants, very many of them. It is becoming hectic for the Canadians. They need to know that they're in Canada, not in another country, in India or something like that. Tell me what to think about this discussion in the comments. Subscribe this channel so that you can't miss at any episode that I'll be posting, and I'll be posting more of this. So subscribe and see you in the next.